Have you ever felt like you are running on empty, doing everything for your business, and yet it still feels like it's just not enough? Now, if this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Today, we're going to be talking about why burnout is not the price for the success you seek, and we're going to talk about how to build a business that supports your life instead of consuming it. In this episode, we're going to talk about why burnout is so incredibly common for us high-achieving women. We're going to talk about the burnout signals. We're going to talk about how burnout is actually a sign that your systems, not you, need work. And we're going to talk about the strategies and support that can help you create success with ease and alignment. This episode is so incredibly important, and I know because almost every single woman who reaches out to me for help is burnt out. They're all just so confused about why they're working so damn hard and not getting the results they want. The secret that most people won't tell you is that while hard work got you here, the next level that you're for does not come from hard work. It comes from smart work. You cannot put yourself second to your business and expect to rise. Welcome to Big Goal Energy, where we do things differently. We believe that you are the secret sauce to your success and that your goals cannot thrive if you're not also thriving. Let's dive into today's topic. Burnout is not the price of success. How to create success without sacrificing yourself.
I can tell you've got big goal energy. Are you ready to turn your wildest dreams into your everyday reality? You are in the right place. Welcome to Big Goal Energy, the podcast that helps you turn your audacious and delusional dreams into your everyday life. We know that you don't settle for the ordinary, that you have dreams which others may deem unrealistic. But here, we help you defy reality and bring those dreams to life. Each episode of Big Goal Energy empowers you with knowledge, inspiration, and mentorship to conquer your most unrealistic goals. From transparent roundtable conversations to short-form episodes, you'll hear the experiences of women who have defied reality, as well as learn practical tips and strategies to fuel your journey. Join us by subscribing to Big Goal Energy, and together we'll turn your audacious dreams into remarkable achievements.
Hello, everyone. Bree Seeley here, hostess of Big Goal Energy. If you're watching on YouTube, I got a new backdrop since you last saw me. I am very, very excited to be coming at you from my newly redesigned Bree shed with my ever so cleverly branded Big Goal Energy neon sign behind me. If you are listening on another platform, imagine it in your head. It is fantastic. Let's dive right into today's topic. What exactly does burnout look like for high-achieving women? Because it looks different for us than it does for, frankly, a lot of the men that are telling us to hustle to achieve success. The thing that I want to point out here that's so incredibly important is that this idea that hustle is the only way to succeed is an absolute, complete, total, utter lie. We get told, and then we start telling ourselves that if we just work hard enough, we'll get to that big goal that we want to create in our businesses. We will reach all of our goals if we only work hard enough. But I have a question for you. What is enough? What is enough? Can you answer that question for me, or more importantly, for yourself? When is enough going to be enough? There are some really common signs of burnout that, first of all, I've witnessed in myself over the last 18 years of being an entrepreneur, but I also witness often in entrepreneurs that come to me. The first thing is constant exhaustion and overwhelm. That one seems pretty obvious, but the next part of it is that this exhaustion and overwhelm is turning into resentment. Resentment towards your work, your clients, and yourself. No matter how hard you try, how much you rest, how much you nap, how much time you take off, you just can't find the energy to run your business. Your creativity is zapped and you are running on empty. The next sign that I see with a lot of entrepreneurs who are burnt out is feeling stuck in the weeds of your business. You have this endless to-do list that just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing no matter how much you work. The next one is an obsession with comparing yourself to other people who are more successful than you and giving your power away to the magic bullet that they are trying to sell you. Spoiler alert, I don't sell magic bullets because there's no such thing. Magic bullets are like the present day snake oil. I just got done reading a book about the 1920s and how they were traveling town to town to sell this snake oil. There is not ever a single solution that will fix your bunions and your indigestion and your hair falling out. Just doesn't exist. Just like there is not one solution that will solve your lead generation problem, your sales problems, and your marketing problems. It doesn't work that way. The last sign that you are experiencing burnout in your business is that you are struggling to feel joy in your accomplishments. No matter how much you accomplish, it's just never enough. You cannot celebrate what you've done because there's just more to do. All of these things add up to this emotional toll where you are burdened with guilt, frustration, and more than anything, questioning your ability to sustain your success. I want to tell you quickly about one of my Foundry graduates, Stephanie. Stephanie is an incredible artist. Now, this often means that the tasks required by business can be overwhelming and not in the zone of genius, right? Artists are so good at art and creativity and creation. Because she also was tasked with running a business, she frequently felt stuck in the weeds, exhausted and overwhelmed, and always had this never-ending to-do list, which she could never quite should herself into, as hard as she tried. Pretty quickly, we identified what tasks she actually needed to be doing and which tasks she could outsource. We also identified which tasks kept her booked and busy in her business. Stephanie's monthly revenue in our second month together tripled. She also sustained that revenue benchmark for the entirety of 2024. She's feeling better about herself, her role in her business, and she has more energy because she is not focused on being in the weeds every single day. Success without sacrifice. It is absolutely, completely, totally possible, and we're going to touch on that throughout the rest of this episode. How do you create success without sacrificing yourself in your business? The first thing I want to touch on here is that burnout is actually a systems and a strategy problem and not a you problem. Most people that talk about burnout talk about how do we fix you so that you're not burnt out anymore. I say, how do we fix the structure that is causing you to burn out? Because can you navigate yourself? Can you learn how to exist within this structure? Yeah, you can. But why not just change the structure so that you don't have that burden on your shoulders of having to manage yourself when you're not actually the problem? Burnout is not a reflection of your capabilities nor your worth. It is a sign that the systems and strategies in your business aren't supporting you. Let me give you a metaphor just so we can all be on the same page about this. When your car is out of gas, do you blame the car? No. What do? You put more gas in it. But when you're running on empty, what do? Shame, blame, guilt. I'm not doing enough. I'm not smart enough. Something is wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with you. Don't blame the car. Put more gas in it. Also, there might be a hole in your gas tank. If you keep putting more and more and more and more gas in it, but it's still empty, that is a bigger problem. Let's talk about some of these common systems and strategies issues that lead to burnout. 1, lack of a clear process for the routine, mundane tasks that you are consistently doing in your business. You don't have support and you don't have assistance. 2, you're overcomplicating your offers or your business model. You don't have a clear strategy that is guiding you directly to your goals. 3, you are saying yes to far too many things and people. You are playing whack-a-mole in your business, waiting for the next shiny object to pop up, rather than purposefully creating and pursuing the pathway to your dreams. The biggest mindset shift that I want you to get here, in fact, it's so big and it's so important, I'm actually going to do an entirely separate podcast episode on this. So if you are not yet subscribed to Big Goal Energy, make sure that you get subscribed because this CEO mindset shift episode is going to be absolutely incredible. This mindset shift, I'm going to touch on it here, then we're going to dive back into some more burnout stuff. The CEO mindset shift is to move from doing it all yourself to building systems and being guided by a comprehensive strategy that handles the load for you. That feels good. And as someone who has struggled in the past from carrying the load completely by myself, for those of you that don't know, I'm currently healing from frozen shoulder, and I looked up the emotional underpinnings of frozen shoulder. And what Louise Hay said in her book about shoulder injuries is carrying the load by yourself without joy. The biggest mindset shift that we all need to embrace and embody if we want to have a sustainable business that does not require us to hustle is to move from doing it all to building systems and being guided by a comprehensive strategy that handles the load for you. Think about it for just a second. If you were to go try to lift 100 pounds right now without assistance, it would be a stretch. Personally, right now, with my injuries and the lack of conditioning that I've had over the last 6 months with this injury, no way, absolutely no way I could lift 100 pounds. But if I got 10 people or 9 people plus myself to share that load with, we would each only be carrying 10 pounds. So does it make sense to hustle and carry all 10 pounds by ourselves? Or does it make sense to find a way for our systems, our strategies, our team, other people to help us carry the load so that we are not manifesting injuries to ourselves? I'm going to let you sit with that thought for just a second. We are going to take a brief break, and then we are going to be back to talk about what the key strategies are to create this success without sacrificing yourself. See you in a minute.
Are you an entrepreneur with a bigger vision for your business, but no clear path to build it? You need strategy, accountability, and community to transform the business you have into the entrepreneurial legacy you dream of. No more overworking for mediocre results. No more confusion about achieving your massive dreams. No more doubting your audacious goals. The Foundry is your opportunity to say yes to the big goals within you and build them with ease and alignment. Apply now to become one of just 10 entrepreneurs in this exclusive mastermind. Visit breeseely.com/mastermind and don't wait. Your legacy starts today.
Okay, I have 3 strategies that I want to share with you to help you create this success without sacrificing yourself. The first one is we need to streamline and we need to simplify. I read this amazing book. In fact, I've read it 2 years in a row. I read it in 2023 and 2024 called 10X is Easier Than 2X. And the thing about streamlining and simplifying is that 80% of your current results are coming from 20% of your current effort. 80% of your results, 20% of your effort. This means that 80% of your effort is producing next to nothing for you. 80% of what you're doing every single day is a waste of your time. Is success about putting out more energy, or is it about cutting more out and focusing on less? We could increase your focus. If we could take that 20% of your energy and effort right now that's producing 80% of your results, and if we could even 5x that, that's 100%. And if we 5x 80%, that's 400%. That's some big movement. I actually want to share a story with you about a graduate of mine who did this in her business in the first 90 days of being a student in the Foundry. She spent our time together simplifying her business. Less output, more focus. She reined in what she was doing. She simplified down to what was working and what was making an impact both in her business and in the lives of her customers. She did her annual revenue in 90 days. I want you to imagine this for yourself. Can you imagine doing your annual revenue in just 90 days? What if doing less could actually create more? Could you quadruple your business revenue this year if you were to focus on that 20%, doing less, creating more? You absolutely could. So strategy number 1, streamline and simplify. Let's dive into strategy number 2. You have to redefine your role as a CEO. Probably right now in your business, you are the CEO, but you are the chief execution officer. What you need to be is the chief executive officer. We are not executing, we're managing. We want to shift into prioritizing strategic decisions over our day-to-day operations. You cannot be the person who is doing everything in your business. Your next level success comes from leadership and strategy, not execution. Now, could you spend all your time and energy posting on social media and checking your inbox and building out your tech stack? Yes, you absolutely could, but that is not what's going to get you where you want to go. Big dreams require you to delegate tasks that are not in your zone of genius. You don't need a full-time team. You absolutely do not need a full-time team, but you probably need a contractor and at least one, if not two, key areas and a very part-time virtual assistant. CEOs don't wake up every day and wonder what to post on social media. CEOs do not spend all day in their inbox. CEOs do not sit around wondering or questioning what to do today to create the results they want. CEOs are not behind the scenes building out their entire tech stacks. CEOs are visionaries, big goal, energy people. They are focused on where they're going, not how to get there. Key strategy number 2, redefine your role as the CEO of your business. Key strategy number 3, you have got to surround yourself with support. The power of a community that understands your challenges is one of the most underrated elements of entrepreneurship. Technically, you could cross an ocean alone. People have done it before. But my question is, why the fuck would you? It requires immense skill, mental resilience, and the ability to handle all this challenging weather conditions and emergencies completely alone. And I don't know about you, this sounds absolutely terrible. I would much rather have people on my side to help carry the burden with me. If you think even about Pirates of the Caribbean, right? The captain of the ship is not the one pulling the sail. They don't do that. I personally, as the captain of my ship, would rather have specialists who are on my side, who know the ins and outs of certain challenges and conditions, instead of me having to learn that specialty, learn all about those challenges and conditions. I'd bring someone on my side who's already an expert in that area. One of the main things that I've learned in my 18 years of entrepreneurship is that while I could totally do it alone, the most successful people in the world never do things alone. They never, like we were talking about earlier, shoulder the burden of the entire weight. As the captain of that ship, they're not both directing the ship, steering the ship, fucking with the sails and doing all of the other things. That's not the job of the captain. They're directing the specialists to do those things. Not to mention, did you know that having a coach or mentor to help you stay aligned and accountable actually increases your chance of success by 95%? I am not a betting woman, but that is a bet I'm willing to take. Those are some odds that I can get behind. Before we wrap this episode, I want to tell you about a quick opportunity to help turn your ship around. If you've been nodding along with this episode thinking, oh my gosh, this is totally me. How is Brie in my head? Does she have surveillance cameras in my office? I want to share with you that 1 year ago, I launched the first cohort of the Foundry, Women's Business Mastermind. This container is an opportunity to start doing things different in your business. I started it because I simply could not watch another female entrepreneur walk away from her business overwhelmed and underpaid, when the truth is that the solutions she was seeking were simple. Simplify and streamline, redefine her role as a CEO, and surround herself with support. What I have witnessed in the women who have enrolled in the Foundry over the last year in 2 different cohorts is nothing short of miracles. This 6-month container has helped all of them become the CEO and the entrepreneur that they were born to be. And it can help you do the exact same in your business. This 6-month container combines mindset with strategy, with community, and it is exactly what ambitious, overwhelmed entrepreneurs just like you need to create the success they've been craving in their business without overworking and underliving. You've already heard a few success stories here, but if you'd like to hear from my graduates in their own words, as well as learn everything that goes into the Foundry, you can visit breesealy.com/Foundry or click the link in the show notes to learn more. The page is full of so many details as well as tons of video testimonials from my graduates, so you can literally hear exactly what this container has created for them. I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, this is not snake oil. This is not a cure-all. This is not a wave, a magic wand. This is going to be a journey, and it's going to be a process. But as I said, I have seen absolute miracles created in the 2 6-month cohorts that have already graduated. Spoiler, this is not for everyone, and there is an application process. But if you think that this might be for you, or if you feel in any way seen by this episode, visit bree.com/Foundry and request an application. There are just a limited number of spaces remaining, and we start in February. You do not have to figure this out alone, and you do not have to sacrifice yourself for your goals. The Foundry was designed to help ambitious, creative, powerful as fuck women like you to grow yourself and your business into your dream business. I just want to recap what we've talked about today. Key takeaways from today's episode. First of all, burnout is a systems and a strategy issue, not a you issue. If you can take one thing away from today's episode, I just sincerely want you to know you are not broken. You are not broken. There's a hole in your bucket and the water just keeps pouring out. If we can find a way to patch that hole in your bucket, you're not going to be exhausted and you're not going to be burnt out anymore because you're going to have a container that's not leaking. Once we get those systems and strategies in place, we get that bucket whole and completely patched up, you're going to have a business that supports you. Second key takeaway, you can create a business that works for you and with you, not against you. Again, if you have holes in your bucket and it's constantly pouring out, you're constantly having to fill it with water, that is a business that is working against you. In diving into your systems and your strategies, we can design your business to work for you and with you. It is such a fucking fun process. Key takeaway number 3, if you haven't caught it yet, support and strategy make all the difference. I want you to remember, your success does not have to come at the expense of your well-being. You deserve a business and a life that feel good and support you. And it is 100% possible to create it. So if 2025 is your year to stop surviving in your business and start thriving, visit breesealy.com/Foundry or click the link in the show notes. And I'm here to help you make it happen together. 2025 is the big goal energy year. And I am just so excited that you're here taking these steps, ready to create an entirely new trajectory for yourself and your business. No more hustle, no more sacrificing yourself. Let's fucking do this because you deserve to feel good in your business every single day. I'm Bree Seely, hostess of Big Goal Energy. Thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe because the next episode coming is a great pair to this episode. We will see you on next week's episode.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Big Goal Energy. We trust that it fueled your ambition and made you feel seen. We are a community of ambitious female entrepreneurs like you. Come join us in the Big Goal Energy community by visiting breesealy.com/community. In the meantime, send your questions for us to cover in the episodes to info@breesealy.com. Together, we'll turn your audacious dreams into remarkable achievements. Cheers to defying reality. See you on the next episode.